Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is April 10th, 2024, and Barcelona are currently eyeing Sergi Cardona as he will become a free agent during this summer transfer market. Also, it's confirmed that Barcelona will sign Nico Williams, and finally, the club could benefit off the transfer of Abde. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and this is the Barca News live podcast, which is on every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 3 times a week, usually at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, I moved it till 7 because we did have the post-match live analysis where I discussed or I analyzed the match between Barcelona and PSG in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, which if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Now, having said all of that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys like this one or other merchandise, make sure you hit the kit bag. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you head to Bet Us. Both links for Kickback and Bet Us are in the description. And if you use them, you would be helping me tremendously. But you would also be helping yourself because you do get access to some pretty cool discounts. Anyways, let's start with the news. Because Barcelona just defeated PSG a few moments ago, 2-3 at the Parc des Princes. How do you like my French? But Barcelona defeated PSG 2-3 in Paris with a magnificent performance by Rafinha and by the entire team itself, with Rafinha scoring 2 goals and Andreas Christensen scoring the third, taking home a very important victory in the first leg of this quarterfinal, which, by the way, Barcelona are the only team to win in an away match in the quarterfinals in this round. Of course, yesterday we had 2 draws, Manchester City and Real Madrid drawing 3-3, Arsenal and Bayern drew 2-2. Atletico Madrid won today, but they won at home. So Barcelona are the only team to win an away match in this round of quarterfinals. So that's pretty cool. Also, the round of quarterfinals, really delivering this time around. 3 great matches. I don't know about Atletico Madrid and Dortmund. I didn't really watch the replay or anything. I don't really care much about that match. But the other 3 matches, the Man City, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Bayern, and Barcelona, PSG, great matches. Lots of goals. 10 goals yesterday, the highest amount of goals in one quarterfinal round or one quarterfinal day since in 13 years. We had 10 goals total, 6 in the Real Madrid-Manchester City game. We had 4 in the Bayern and Arsenal game. And today, a total of 7 goals? Yes, 7 goals. No, 8 goals. 5 in the Barcelona match in PSG, and then 3 in Atletico Madrid, Dortmund. So that's 18 goals total. The quarterfinal round really delivering. But the important news is that Barcelona won its first leg. I did do a post-match live analysis, as I announced earlier. So if you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. Now, let's talk about PSG since we're still on that topic, because as you know by now, the fans were heard chanting in that last match PSG played in the Ligue 1, where they were saying, F Barca, F Barca. The ultras, the PSG ultras posted a letter, threatening Barcelona, saying we're going to make it hell for them. Ooh, oh my God, a second-tier club is threatening us. Anyways, but that's not it. Apparently, PSG continued to act like a second-division club, like a small club, and today, as usual, the president and the board of directors of 2 clubs that are facing each other, they usually have dinner together. And as usual, Laporta and members of his board, members of the Barcelona directors, were supposed to meet with Al-Khelaifi and his board of directors for lunch or for dinner right before the match. And this guy didn't even bother to show up. So Al-Khelaifi did not show up to the luncheon or the dinner between both presidents. He left Jean Laporta hanging at the restaurant. Obviously, other people from PSG did show up, some smaller or lower tier directors, but not this guy. Apparently, he's too good to show up to a dinner with the president of a club 10 times bigger than the one he runs. And that's not all. because there was even more complications at the airport because, as usual, when there's a match, Champions League match, the president, the directors of a club who are visiting will travel to that city, and they usually get free entrances, right? They're free tickets. They get to watch the match for free. That's customary. So Laporta was traveling with his directors that were at the airport in Barcelona when they get a phone call and saying that PSG is not going to cover the tickets for everybody, only for a small portion, and that everyone else who's traveling, they're going to have to pay out of their own pockets to purchase tickets, which are worth as much as 600 euros. Again, PSG acting like the small club that they are. Now, this apparently upset some directors. They decided that they weren't going to travel. But Laporta, being the man, a bigger man than the entire PSG board of directors combined and the entire fan base combined, Laporta said, absolutely not. We're all going to show up together. If we have to pay for tickets, we're going to pay for tickets. But we're all going to show up. We're not going to be intimidated. And that's exactly what happens. Now, it doesn't all stop there because there was more. Because the PSG Ultras showed up to the hotel where the Barcelona team was staying at around 2, 3 in the morning. They started lighting up fireworks in order to keep the team up and allow them not to sleep. Of course, this does happen sometimes in other countries too, but usually there's police present. There's usually police present. They usually close off the hotel to make sure for the safety of the player. But magically or mysteriously, the French police was nowhere to be found. Coincidence? I don't know. You tell me. So very despicable, disgusting behavior by PSG. But of course, it's not unexpected. Again, small club, small mentality, acting like the small club and with the small mentality that they have. And of course, Joan Laporta did release a statement or did give a statement before the match, responding to everything that was going on. And this is what Joan Laporta did, a proper president of a proper club. Not some backwards guy running some circus show pretending to be somewhere important. But this is what Joan Laporta had to say. He said, an important match for the club because we have not been here for years. I see the players are focused. They believe in themselves as much as we believe in them. The message for our fans is to believe in our players and our coach. We are very focused, and it's very important for everyone to know that I wouldn't swap any of our players for any PSG player. So Laporta making it very clear that the team is focused. He believes in the players. He believes in the coach. He wants the fans to believe in the players and believe in the coach. And that he believes in his players so much that he would never swap any of them for any PSG players. And that's the kind of message that I expect from the Barcelona president. Of course, I got a lot of hate yesterday, a lot of angry people when I criticized Xabi around this press conference. But people are like, oh, you want him to talk shit. No, I don't want him to talk shit. This is what I expect. Laporta say, look, I believe in my players so much that I wouldn't swap them for anybody for PSG. We're focused and we're going to win. That's the kind of message you expect. Not, PSG is a Champions League winning team. They have the best coach. They're the favorites. They have the best possession. They have the best transition. They have our best player, Dembele. No. This is FC Barcelona, ladies and gentlemen. We don't care about small clubs like PSG from a farmers league. But anyways, that's what happened. Great response by Joan Laporta. And of course, great response by the team because at the end of the day, we put PSG in their place. We reminded them that they are a small club from a farmers league by winning today 2-3. Incredible display in Paris and an incredible night, which I will be celebrating tonight. But anyways, let's start with the chat section because we do have other news. Started with Sergi Cardona. All right, let's see. Jazib says, the way we defended Mbappe and Dembele was incredible. I agree with you 100%. Of course, Dembele celebrating that goal. A lot of people got a little upset. I don't think he was celebrating it because it was Barcelona. I think he was celebrating because he's frustrated. I think this is his second or third goal that he scored for PSG. Dembele being Dembele, just useless. Curtis says, Barca has to come out guns blazing in the next match, and the fans need to show PSG a nightmare. 100%. I agree with you, my friend. The fans need to show up. They need to sell out Montjuic. It needs to be completely full. They need to chant their asses off the entire 90 minutes. We need to encourage our team so we can push them across the finish line and make it to the semifinals, which would be huge, huge. No one expects us to make it that far, and if we make it that far, it will be absolutely amazing. Fireboy says, I love Pedri so much, and Andreas was amazing. I do too, my friend. I do too. Let's see. Fireboy says, Barca haunting Nasser. I'm guessing you're talking about Al-Khalifi. I don't think Barca even thinks about him. I think he's the one who's obsessed with us. Like I said, PSG, they have an inferiority complex. They've always tried to be like Barcelona, like Madrid. Here's the thing. They're never going to beat us or even Madrid. These are two of the biggest and most historical clubs in the world. Money's not going to buy you that, no matter how much you spend. I think they've learned that you would think they would learn that by now, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like that. And Klaus says, what a wanker he is. I agree with you, my friend. I agree with you. All right, let's get back to the news because we do have to talk about Sergi Cardona, the 24-year-old left back who currently plays at Las Palmas and who happens to be matching with me. He's wearing a yellow jersey too. But of course, I'm wearing the best jersey in the world, the FC Barcelona jersey. But Sergi Cardona, someone I've talked about in the past on the channel, is someone at Barcelona were tracking. They were kind of interested in his situation to see what happens because his contract does expire this summer in 2024. And Barcelona were tracking his situation to see whether he renews or not. Now, what's the news? The news is that Sergi Cardona has now been confirmed that he will leave Las Palmas in the summer. It's confirmed. It's official. Sergi Cardona will not be renewing his contract with Las Palmas. He will be leaving, and as such, he will become a free agent starting July 1st, 2024, which this, of course, makes it very, very interesting for Barcelona because we all know that part of the new signing policy or new transfer policy that Deco has implemented, which I made a video about, is, of course, to explore the free transfer market or the free agency market, given Barcelona's financial fair play, given Barcelona's financial situation. That's one market that Deco has been heavily focused on, the free agency market. So Cardona now confirming that he's not going to renew Las Palmas. That definitely puts him in Deco's sights because we know that Barcelona are not only just looking for a pivot and a left winger, they also want someone to compete with Balde because Balde next season will be our only left back. Jordi Alba already left last season. Marcos Alonso will be leaving this summer, most likely to Atletico Madrid. So we need someone else to compete with Balde. Now, of course, there is the option of Alex Baye, who's currently on loan in second division. But Baye is younger. He kind of has lost some weight lately with Levante or Leganés. I always confuse the two, whatever team he's with. So Sergi Cardona being 24, being older than Baye, having more experience, being more settled into his role, could be perhaps a more interesting option for Deco and for the club, and especially since he will be a free agent. This definitely puts some in the sights of Deco. The club have not confirmed whether they're going to be going after Cardona or not. Of course, they have been tracking for some time, so expect for Barcelona to at least look into his situation now more since he will become a free agent, since it's been confirmed. We'll see what happens. Now, there are other clubs interested in Sergi Cardona, but I have no doubts that if Barcelona pick up the phone, he will definitely come to the club because he's said it many times in the past that he's a culé, he's a Barca fan. His dream is to play for Barca. So I'm sure if Barcelona decide to sign Sergi Cardona, despite him having interest from other clubs, it's not going to matter. Most likely he will pick FC Barcelona. Anyways, let's get back to the comment section and then we will talk about Nico Williams. All right, CD says, hi, Mo, how are you doing? Let me congratulate our boys for the victory. I'm very happy tonight. Hope we can do better in the return leg come Tuesday. Yes, my friend, definitely congratulations for our team, for Xabi, for everyone on this amazing victory. I think if Barcelona come out with the same mentality that they did today, out there ready to handle business, ready to compete, if they do the same next week, I think we have a good shot of making it to the semifinal. And we even have a bigger shot because then we'll be at home in our stadium, in our city with our fans. So I think we have a good shot. But of course, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll still have another match. We have 90 minutes more to go. And PSG have players that can cause us damage. So one match at a time. But I believe in our team. I believe in our players. So Visca Barça, and let's go. Jara King says, these guys hate Barca so much they get petty and show their smallness. 100% agree with you, my friend. And Carlos says, I hope Barca does the same to the team and directors when they visit Barcelona next week. I don't. I really don't, because here's the thing. What PSG did today, that's an attitude, or that's a behavior of a small club, of small-minded people, and we have to be bigger than that. We have to be better than that. So, no, I don't hope that Barcelona do the same. I hope Barcelona show them the best courtesy possible, pick them up at the airport, take them out to eat, give them the best suite at the stadium, show them how a real big club acts, a club with a respectable club acts. Because what PSG did today just denotes their smallness, and let's not be a small club like them. Let's be better, because we are better. Klaus says, all the money in the world and PSG will never compare to Barca, and they know it. I think so. I think they know it too. And that's why it hurts them, because they know it. Deep down, they know it. Samba says, hey, Mo, is there any way Barca can sign Nico and Mount Onana this summer? Good question, because that is a great segue to our next segment, which is, you guessed it, Nico Williams, because FC Barcelona have decided that they will 100% sign Nico Williams for the left wing. But there is a but, there is an asterisk, there is an however, which is in 2025. So Barcelona will for sure sign Nico Williams, but it will be in 2025. And in fact, they have already come up with a plan with Nico's agent to bring Nico to Barcelona in 2025. So this is not just the club saying, next year, we'll sign him next year, we'll see how it happens. No. This is the club saying, we're going to sign him. We're for sure about it. They've sat down with the agent. They've come up with a plan, and there's agreement here. So highly, highly likely this will happen. Of course, things could happen. Agreements could fall apart. Something crazy could happen. Of course, that's always a possibility. But as of now, as of today, April 10th, 2024, Barcelona and Nico's agent have come up with a plan to bring Nico Williams to FC Barcelona in the summer of 2025. Now, Barcelona have been tracking Nico for quite some time. Nico is in favor of coming to Barcelona, especially since he likes the project. There's a lot of youngsters. A lot of these youngsters are his friends. Alejandro Valde is his closest friend. He's also friends with Lamine and Pau Cubarsí. And he is in favor of coming to the club. And he's not in a hurry to leave Athletic Club de Bilbao, which is also key. Because Barcelona could say, okay, we're going to sign you in 2025. And he could say, I don't want to wait till 2025. I want to leave now. And then Barcelona are screwed, right? But that's not the case. Nico Williams is willing to stay there in Athletic Club de Bilbao until 2025 because, A, he wants to make history with his club, with Athletic Club de Bilbao, which already he has done that. He just won a few days ago the Copa del Rey. I think it's the first time Athletic Club de Bilbao win it in 30-plus years. So he's already making history. He wants to continue making history with his club. He wants to play the Champions League with his club, which also be historic for him and for his club. He also doesn't want Athletic Club to lose money. And that's why he negotiated that 50 million euro release clause. Because on one hand, he knows he's going to eventually leave. He's going to outgrow his current club. But he also wants to, make sure his club is set when he leaves. And that's why he negotiated the 50 million euro release clause. And here's the thing. There's a lot of clubs interested in him in the Premier League. However, Nico prioritizes staying in Spain. He prefers to stay in La Liga. He's more in favor of staying in La Liga over going to the Premier, which that's good for Barcelona because that eliminates all the Premier League competition, which, of course, those clubs have a lot more money than Barcelona. So that right there is a big, big plus in Barcelona's column. And since we know that Nico Williams prefers staying in Spain when it comes to Spanish clubs, Nico Williams sees Barcelona as kind of his only option because obviously the two biggest clubs are Madrid and Barcelona. When it comes to Madrid, Nico Williams does not see himself playing there because where is he going to play? They have Vinicius, they have Rodrigo, they're going to bring Mbappe. It's not going to be any space for him. Where in Barcelona, guess what? We don't have anyone on the left wing. So it's like it's right there for the taking. So Nico prefers to stay in Spain. And when it comes to Spanish clubs, he prefers Barcelona. He is willing to wait until 2025 because he wants to make history with his current club. So it's all set in motion that Nico will wait until the summer of 2025 and Barcelona will sign him then to fulfill that left wing position, which Barcelona are in desperate need of filling We'll see who will play there for now, because, of course, that's another season without a proper left winger. It looks like Rafinha's doing a good job there. We'll see maybe if Barcelona decide to keep him playing there until they bring Nico. You know, Laporta really wants to keep Joao Felix, so maybe they'll have Joao Felix fill in that position. We'll see what happens. But just know that Barcelona plan to bring Nico in 2025. They have a plan with his agent, and the player is willing to wait. All right, let's do more comments. Let's see. Cara Samba says, Spoil will be able to sign players freely after the new stadium is done. I don't think I understood your comment. Game account says we need to sign Andre Onana. You mean Amadou Onana? Yeah, good pivot to counter fast and strong players like Mbappe and Haaland. I'm not fully sold on the whole we need a big physical, strong, destroyer type defensive midfielder. I'm more of your classic Barcelona pivot, someone who is more technical, someone who's good with the ball at his feet, someone who can come out with the ball from behind, can distribute the ball, someone more of a playmaker kind of pivot, a proper Barcelona pivot, like a Sergio Busquets. Now, of course, we're never going to have another Sergio Busquets because Sergio Busquets was unique, but, we should get someone close to him. And Sublife says, hey, Mo, do you think Barca should let in Bosch's Noise, Barca's Ultra, back for one game against PSG? Someone asked me this the last podcast on Monday, and my answer is going to be the same. Absolutely not. Barca Ultras they're criminals. They're criminals. They're thugs. A lot of them are neo-Nazis. They're racist. We should never, ever, ever be associated with people like that. There's a reason Laporta banned them from the stadium. And when he did, they found out where he lived. They tagged his house and they threatened to kill him and his family. So no, we should never be associated with criminals. Let a small club like PSG in a Farmers League be associated with their criminals. We are better than that. Jezeb says, let's show them how to make a fortress in the next leg. 100% agree with you, my friend. And one more, but Nima says, hey, Mo, we agree that even in the second leg at home, we shouldn't rush to play a high line. I agree. I think we should play more of what we did today, but we need to work on our transitions. We need to work on our passing. I think we're still lacking at that. I think our defense has improved a lot. We defend more as a team now. I think since the incorporation of Kouarsi, it's helped the team a lot. And you saw it today. Everybody was covering for each other, right? Koundé was there if Koundé would get overcome. Right there was Araujo right behind him covering his back. If Araujo would get overcome, boom, Kouarsi was right there to cover Araujo's back. So we're seeing that the defense has improved a lot. The team is defending as a team, but we still need to work on our attack. I think we still make a lot of horizontal passes, not so much vertical passes. We still lose the ball a lot in the buildup of plays, and we still have problems with our decision making, where we pass when we should have shot, or shot when we should have passed, or passed to the wrong player where we should have passed it to another one who was open. We still need to work on that, but no complaints. Today we showed up, we competed, we did our job. We need to do more of that on the next leg, but with a little improvements to the attack, right? And if we can do that, I think we are good. We're set. We have a great chance of making it to the semifinals. All right, let's get back to the news, because speaking of wingers, we got to talk about two wingers. The first one is Lamine Yamal, because today, and I'll make this bigger, the CIES Football Observatory, which is a scientific place that studies football. They look at numbers, they analyze players, matches, teams, etc. Released this chart. Now, if you're wondering what this chart is, I'll remove my logo so you can read the title. But it's the top 10 transfers value increases for under 23 players. So these are the players whose value has risen the most and who are under 23 years old. And who tops the chart? Ladies and gentlemen, Lamine Yamal. Now, look at his numbers. because this is absolutely insane. Lamine Yamal 6 months ago was worth 11 million euros. In 6 months, he went from 11 to 145 million euros. So in 6 months, his value shot up 134 million euros. That's absolute insanity. That makes him not only the most expensive under 23 player in the world, that also makes him the player whose value has increased the most in the world. Again, going from 11 to 145 million euros in only a span of 6 months, a jump of 134. Absolute insanity. Second place, we have Joao Neves, then Sabio Moreira or Sabinho, and Cole Palmer, Gerald Hato, Endrick, Jeremy Doku, Kobe Maindu, Joao Pedro, and Warren Zaire-Emery. So really, really cool to see Lamine Yamal, who continues to set a record after record after record after record after record. And he's only 16 years old. But that's not the only news. I did say we're going to talk about two wingers. And the second winger is, ladies and gentlemen, Abde. Because Barcelona could make some money off the transfer of the Moroccan winger, who is currently in Real Betis and who AC Milan are currently considering. Now, Barcelona sold Abde, I think it was 7 or 7.5 million euros for 7 million euros to Real Betis this past summer. But when they did so, they reserved a repurchase clause, and they also reserved 50% of any future sales. Now, it seems that AC Milan are interested in Abde, and Real Betis are interested in selling him this summer. So if this transaction ends up happening, then Barcelona could earn 50% of whatever AC Milan would pay. We don't know how much AC Milan is willing to pay yet. We don't know how much Real Betis are willing to sell, but ballpark, they're saying something around 20, 25 million. So if that does happen, let's say 25, we can get 12.5 of this transaction, plus the 7 that we got from selling him originally to Real Betis. And that rounds it up to 20 million, which is not bad because I think Barcelona purchased Abde for like 2 or 3 mil, something like that. So it's not a bad operation. And it's not the only player that Barcelona are set to make money off this summer. We have Jean-Claire Todibo. He's being sold. They're expecting for him to be sold around 50 million. And Barcelona have 20% of future rights. So that's 10 million for Barcelona. Also, Mika Marmol. Mika Marmol is set to be sold. Barcelona also have an interest in him. So Barcelona are set to make money off several players this summer who they don't even own. So that's pretty cool. So another boost for Barcelona, another cash boost for Barcelona. We'll see how much AC Milan pay. Hopefully they pay a lot of money, so Barcelona can make as much as possible. Anyways, that is all the news. But let's do a few more minutes of comments, and then we will wrap it up. Let's see. Sean says, hey, Mo, we still have 90 minutes to go. The only 2 changes I would make for Tuesday is Hector Fort for Cancelo and Fermin Lopez for Roberto. Well, Roberto cannot play because he received his 3rd yellow card in a Champions League. So he's automatically suspended for next match. So is Andreas Christensen, which is a little concerned about Christensen. Sergi Roberto, I don't really care. So Sergi Roberto's not going to play. So I think Xabi most likely... Actually, I don't see Xabi starting Fermin. Maybe he'll have Gundo, Frankie, and Pedri. That would be my guess for the midfield next week. Unless Xabi decides not to risk Pedri, and then he has Gundo, Frankie, and Fermin, and then have Pedri come in later on. So I think those are the options. But Sergi is not an option because he is suspended or for next match. Hector Fort for Cancelo. That's a tough one because Cancelo did not perform today. It was a disappointing match by Cancelo. But in a high-stakes match, second leg, quarterfinals, Champions League, PSG, with the semifinals on the line, a place that you haven't made it to in several years, I think Cancelo would be the safest option. Because, Cancelo is one of the best fullbacks in the world. He has experience. He's been there before. I would bet on Cancelo. Even though he didn't have a good match today, I think he just had an off night. I think, all players have an off night. Even Messi had off nights. So I would bet on Cancelo. But yeah, Sergi cannot play. All right, let's see. Game account says Viguero, Nana, Messinho, and Nico. Imagine, and I hope it will happen. We'll see if Onana happens, because Everton wants 60 million. Barcelona can afford that. Messinho's not till 2025. We'll see. I'm guessing if Barcelona sign Nico, I don't see them going after Messinho, because you have Lamine on one side, Nico on the other, Vitor in the middle. It kind of you kind of say like, okay, where does Messinho play? He could technically play as an attacking midfielder, kind of like a playmaker behind all three. But we also have, we have a pretty stacked midfield already. Gavi, Pedri, Frankie, Gundo, Fermin. Don't forget about Noah Darvic in the academy. Gil Fernandez was already at Barca Athletic. So, and of course, Pau Prim, Marc Bernal, Marc Casado. So it's like, I don't see Messinho happening if Barcelona go for Nico. I really don't. All right, Cara says, when the 2 goals went in, I thought Xavi needs to counterattack this change from Lucho, and he did. Props to our coach. He did well today. Absolutely. I think Xavi's reaction was superb. We've always complained that Xavi, his substitutions are usually off and he takes too long. Not today. Today, he immediately reacted. We got scored 2 goals on, and Xavi immediately reacted, made changes. They were the right changes. And good job, Xavi. Good job, team. And good job, Rafinha. Rafinha, let's not forget, MVP of the match. Well-deserved MVP of the match. Shazib says, Eid Mubarak, Mo. Thank you, my friend. Eid Mubarak to you too, and to all the Muslims watching the channel. Carlos says, Mo, will you go to the semifinal if we advance? So here's the crazy thing about the semifinals. I will actually be in Europe. I'm going to Spain at the end of the month. I'm going to watch the Barcelona-Valencia match at the stadium. But then I'm set to fly to Portugal that Monday. Barcelona advanced to the semifinal. The match will be on Wednesday or Tuesday. So I could technically watch it, but that means completely throwing my plans out the window, because I already have my flights to Portugal booked, my hotels, everything. So that would mean throwing everything away, my hotels, my flights, everything, to go watch the semifinal, which I would do. Don't get me wrong. I would totally do, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I have some thinking to do, some planning to do. But anyways, Ross says, dude, Barca won. I got to give props to Rafinha, though. Also Xavi, also Yumo, and me. Yes, we all deserve praise, my friend. Praise for everyone. I'm sure you've seen the meme of Opera. So it's like, praise for you, and praise for you, and praise for you, praise for everybody. And we have a donation from Baby's Comeback who says, what's up, Bo? This is the Rafinha we wanted to see. Yes, my friend, 100%. This is the Rafinha that we all wanted to see. If he can keep up this kind of performance for the rest of the season, I'm not saying every match. It's impossible to be good every match. But at least 70, 80% of the matches, if he could do this 70, 80% of the matches, then the 60 million euros that we spent was well spent. But if he goes back to his old self, then I would say sell at the end of the season, because we've seen Rafinha have great matches before. This is not the first great match he's had. He's had great matches in the past, but they're usually followed by a series of bad matches, right? It's like one great match, then 9 bad matches. One great match, another 9 bad matches. And that's not enough. It's not enough to be a Barca player, and it's not enough to cost 60 million. So if Rafinha could maintain this kind of performance for the rest of the season, for 70-80% of the matches for the rest of the season, then yeah, sure, we should keep him. But if not, then no. Bleacher Boy says, that's what you think. Don't get caught up in the Prem hype. A lot of those players technically poor, don't have football brain. They are just athletic. And let's see, what else? And Eric says, Barca should sign Hugo Larsen as pivot, swap Rafinha for Bruno Guimaraes. Sign Theo Hernandez, Hakimi, +1. So you just want to throw the whole window at the team and just sign a whole new one. All right, anyways. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your subscriptions. Again, I did do the post-match live analysis. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you check it out. That is all for tonight. No more videos. I'm tired. I'm gonna shower. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna sleep. I gotta be up super early tomorrow. But thank you for tuning in. Have a good night, a good morning, wherever you are in the world. And as always, peace,